everyone, this is Candy, the 614 Stitcher, and today is Sunday, October the 6th, 2024, and this is my Flosstube episode 130. I would like to say hello and welcome to any and all new subscribers. I thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to see if I can enable you with a project or two. And for my returning friends, thank you so very much for coming back each and every time that I do upload a video. It's been a pretty good stitchy week. I have been stitching. The weather has cooled off considerably here in Ohio, and so that makes for good stitching weather. Yeah, it's been a pretty good week. I am just, falling into the autumn routine, and so that's where I'm at. This week I have for you my September stats, some whips, a finish, and plans, investments, and winners, and a new giveaway. So let's just dive right in. I would first like to say thank you for everyone who commented on the last video where I showed my finish of the river, and you eagle-eyed my project, and I am so thankful for it. I will be putting in the stitches that I missed in the one flower. I had already corrected. There's like a berry on it. It's hard to call it a berry because it's white, but it's a four stitches in a square, and I already had corrected that and another little one that I saw that I found after I was holding it up. But I am truly grateful for those of you that did tell me that I was missing some stitches in a flower over there. When I saw it last night, I was like, oh my goodness, I couldn't believe that I had missed that many stitches. So thank you again for checking that out and letting me know. So for my September stats, I had 2 starts, 3 finishes. I worked on 18 projects for a total of 9,178 stitches. That is unusually high for me. However, with AB Singo, and using those projects as my daily stitch piece. So in the month of January and September, whatever project is called, I use that for the whole entire day, which means that I was getting like 200 and 300 stitches on a project, which really helped a lot and boosted my numbers. So it was a good bringo. I did get a blackout, and congratulations to those winners of the AB Singo. Okay. So we're going to just go right ahead onto whips. I lost my train of thought last week and did not tell you what my plans were. So we have a new acrostic for the month of October. And I do have 2 things I need to follow up with from September. But for October, the theme is Pumpkin Patch. And you'll see the project that I'm using for that, which is Autumn Peg. And then the acrostic is Hayride. And you will see some of the projects that I'll be using for that also this month. I don't know, something is off with my tablet. I look a little yellow or something. I don't know. Okay, but we're going to persevere and carry on. So for my whips this week, the letter K, so when I finished AB Singo was over on the 25th of the month, and so I picked up a couple of things to work on, and on Sunday the 29th I picked up K is for Key, which was my Whip Go project for the month of September called by EJ. And if you recall, I had to take out stitches and put back in stitches. And so here is what the model stitch looks like. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it. And here is where I did end up getting to now. So it did meet up all the way around. So it is, the border is actually completed. I put in all the K's and this motif here and this K. The key was already here, and I've started the big K up at the top. I also tried my hand at doing the specialty stitch, and I cannot, what was the name of that stitch? It was actually pretty easy. The Sweetheart Tree, whose this pattern is by, they give awesome directions on how to do the specialty stitches. And this specialty stitch was called, it didn't give it a name. Oh, it's called the Modified Scotch Stitch. And you can barely see it, so there'll be 4 going across, and they'll be on all 4 sides, so I'll be doing that. Again, this project was for my September Whip Go. I am calling that good that I completed it, since I put back in the majority of all the stitches. I think I did end up getting the 700 stitches in for it. So when I pick this up again, I'll be working on this big tree motif in the middle. Yeah, it's a tree with a key on it, and finishing up all of the specialty stitches for it. Again, I do want to have this completed by the time my birthday rolls around in January, so I will need to get on the stick and put some stitches in it so that I can do that. I'm gonna try to start with plans for next year. I've already been thinking about my plans for next year and some of the things that I'm going to modify for this coming year. So that was K is for key. I put in 71 more stitches in that project. For the next project on the 29th, and I actually stitched on this project. Ooh, sorry, my floss fell out my bag and I can't have stuff just rolling around. So if you recall, when I last shared with you last Saturday, I really wanted to get caught up on my, where is it? It's not in here. On my temperature turtles. And I don't know what has happened to my, oh, here it is. On my temperature turtles, which is by Stitching Mommy, and I was behind on the September turtle. And I am proud to announce that I was able to get so here is the entire project. And here is the September turtle right there. There were 3 days where it was in 98 degrees. and then it dropped down because of the hurricane. It dropped down into the 70s these 3 days. I have started the October flipper. So now, starting today, I'll be able to put the October, start with the October turtle. But I took it out of I had to move the Q-snap for it. And so I thought I would share it in its entirety. I do still need to put in the back stitching. I am waiting until I get a few, get October's turtle in. I'm thinking that I can go ahead and start with the first and the second row, and not worry about damaging those back stitches. So I think they're long stitches. But that is where I am now. I am stitching this on a 32 count Whimsical by Stitch Me. I'm using a sulky conversion that I came up with. And I added for this project 730 stitches. I worked on it Sunday, Tuesday, and I finished it up I worked on a Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and finished the September turtle on Tuesday. So it was really, really exciting. I was super proud of myself that I was able to get it completed and now be back on track for October. So starting today, I'll be putting in the October temperatures, and every Sunday, that's my every Sunday project, is to work on my temperature turtles. So I am super excited about that. So now I'm going to move into what I worked on for October. And again, the acrostic for October is Hayride. Didn't write that down. For the magazine monthly cross stitch challenge. And my R in Hayride is retreat with friends. And so I started retreat start is what the R stands for. I'm like all over the place. And for retreat start, I used Honey of a Tiny Town, because if you recall, when I was on the Chat Friends trip, I had started it but didn't get a good start. I like to put in at least 200 stitches on my new starts so that I can get a good start on them. So this is what the model looks like. This is by Heart in Hand. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it. And here is where I did get to. So I put in all three of the sunflowers at the beginning, and the roof, I outlined the roof and put in the windows on that first house. I added a total of 396 stitches to this. And so my goal was 300 stitches, so this will go away now for a little while. I am using all of the called for overdyed flosses because this was in a gift basket that I won at StitchCon. And I am stitching it on a 32 count Color and Cotton Milk and Tea. So that is where I am on that project. And again, that is the R in Hayride for retreat start. Okay, my next project was my whip go call. Was my whip go call by my friend Bobby over at Pumpkin Creek Primitives, and it was Black Butterfly Sampler by Shaded Stitchery. And here is what that model looks like. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it. And here is where it is now. So I added the okay, I added the P, Q, R, and part of the S. I do have hanging threads from this because it is my whip go project. I stitched 164 stitches on this project, and that is where I am now. I am using Color and Cotton Rustic Black, which goes from a gray to a black. So some of the colors, which you can't really tell in here, are a little more, some parts of them are deeper black and others are more gray. So my goal is to get the alphabet completely done and then start on the whole butterfly part. So that is where it is now. I am stitching this on a 32 count Aurora Borealis by Live and Die LA. It is a fabulous fabric, and I am hoping that I can use the other part of this fabric for a start that I'm going to do in February. But that's where I am with that. And again, you'll be seeing it some more this month because it is my whip go project, and my whip go projects I put in 700 stitches. For my next project I worked on is it is a Whippagory, and it stands for seasonal, which is ran by Sammy J. And it is also part of my theme for a magazine monthly, and it is Autumn Peg by Loho Stitches. And here's a picture of where she was when I last shared her. And here is where she is now. So I was able to finish up her wing, and I have started putting in all of these stitches that will go around and come down for the leaves in the so it just goes up and around, and there are a whole lot of leaves in this, or stitches to make this. So what I am doing is I am not, because the back stitching for the chart covers up a lot of the actual X's that are shown. So what I'm doing is I am using DMC 51, and I have cut lengths of it off, and I am just stitching around because then I have to go back in with a darker shade and backstitch what looks as though they are leaves, if you can see that there. It's blurry. So that is how I am going to tackle this. I am not going to go stitch for stitch on this. I'm just stitching it. I'm going to stitch it around and around, you know, so that I can make it appear as though there are leaves in the air blowing around her. I'm stitching this on a 32 count vintage country mocha, and I am using the called for DMC. This is actually supposed to be hot rod, but I don't have hot rod, and I do have DMC 51, which instead of it just being orange and yellow, it's going to have reds in it, which, you know, all ties back into her dress, so that's why I went with that. I added 247 stitches to this project. The goal is 500, so I will be using Magazine Monthly is having a pop-up challenge starting next Sunday, and I am participating, and it is Oh My Gourd, and you work on it for 5 hours or 500 stitches. So I'm going to put in hours. This project, because of the way that I'm stitching it, is not lending itself very well to counting stitches. So I'm going to use the hours and do it that way. So I won't stitch on it again this week. I'll wait and stitch on it next week. If I follow a line, then I'll be able to count the stitches. That's what I'm hoping for. But I'm just stitching any old way, not in a particular like pattern, so to speak. So that was for Whippagory's seasonal and the theme of Magazine Monthly, which is pumpkin patch, because she does have 2 pumpkins. For Oh My Gourd, you do not have to stitch on a gourd per se if it has pumpkins, which are gourds, or gourds. In the chart, you can participate, and I would suggest that you join the Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge group. Please answer the questions. The more the merrier. It's a very loosey-goosey group. Everybody supports everybody. It's really fun. It's a really fun group, and it helps you get your stitches in. The next project that I worked on for Friday, and it is the 1 Dozen Quaker Bake Me a Quaker Salad that is being hosted by EJ. And this month of October is this section here. And here's a picture of where I was when I last shared it. And here is where I am now. So I have finished the first half of the October. I am now on to the October-November portion. I do want to try to finish this project by the end of the month, or at the very latest beginning of November. So I have added this last huge motif here. It did connect all the way around. I added 572 stitches to this project over 2 days. And that is where I am now. So as you can see, this is a pretty big motif. I have put in all the entire box, and now I have started up here on the top flower. So I have this very top end and this over here. I absolutely love this project. It has been amazing to work on it and to see it come to life to this point. It has been so great. Thank you, EJ, for bringing this to us. And I can see that I'm going to have a finished Rosewood Manor very shortly. So I still need to bring the border down to connect it. I always make sure that I am on track with where the border is. and I use the motifs for that. So I'll be working on that border some more, getting it completed, and the inside. But that is where I am now. I am stitching this on a 46 count color and cotton. It is just a limited edition, and for this block I am using Roxy Flosstube Welch's, and it is very, very variegated, highly variegated. It reminds you of Welch's grape jelly. So that is where I am on that. And again, you will be seeing this come out a few more times this month in an effort to get that motif completed. Okay, I have one more project to share. And this 1 dozen Quakers stands for the D in Hayride. And the next project is stands for the letter I in Hayride, and is also on my whip go board, which was called by Stacy at Thread the Needle Stitchery, and she said a monochromatic chart, and so I pulled out, of course, my ink circles, half the fun. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it. And here is where it is now. So, as you can see, I have a hanging thread. I worked on this yesterday. I had my friend look this over to see where the error was. She came back and was like, she doesn't see an error, which means I corrected it because the error was here. And so now I was able to go in and correct all of the stitches here down, and I am right here. I added 223 stitches for this project. So I also put in this little piece here for the locomotive, the train. I added the airplane back in. I did some more on this motorcycle. I added this skateboard back in. I added this cruise ship here. This is on my year of whips. I don't know, though, that I'm going to be able to get it completed. However, if I don't complete it by December the 18th, I will carry this over so that it will be completed next year. That is where I am now. I'm stitching this on a 16 count Fortnite fabric. I do not know what the name of it is. It is a purpley fabric, and I am using Roxy Flosstube Vampish as the floss for this. So those were my whips that I worked on for this week. I did, again, I had a very good stitchy week. I had a very good stitchy week. I like it when things just kind of flow together. I really enjoy that. So I did have a finish. However, it is not a finish that you would think. It's not a cross stitch finish. I worked on my table runner, and I was able to put all 3 of the pieces together. So I will start. I'll show it this way. So that is block number 1. I put in a sashing. Here's block number 2. and the sashing and block number 3. The next time I show this, probably won't be until November. I am going to put um, put side borders on and quilt this myself. It is going to be a Christmas gift, and so I need to get that done, and so I won't be showing it again until after it is completely finished, but I was super excited about getting it done. Okay, so now we're going to move into my plans. For Whippagories, I need a project that has 50 colors or more, and if you have been around for a while, you notice that you haven't seen Purple Rain. I am going to be pulling Purple Rain out. I have not worked on it since I put in the 2,000 stitches in July. So I have got to get my Purple Rain out. It is a Heaven and Earth Designs, full coverage. So it will be coming out this week. I will also be working on, for Magazine Monthly, and it is the Y in Hayride for Year of Whips, is what the Y stands for in Hayride for me. And I will be pulling out Data Portraits in Paris. It is a Year of Whips that I am really close on, and so I would like to try to get that finished up this month. On Saturday, well, those are a couple of the projects that I plan on working on this week. On Saturday, I am going to be doing some virtual finishing with my friends. Miss Dina over at Half Stitch Cross Stitch talked about doing finishing virtually with her friends, and I immediately texted my friends and was like, we should do this. It sounds like a great idea. And so on Saturday, the 12th, we are all going to virtually get together and finish some projects. That way we can bounce ideas off of each other, ask opinions, and I think it is a super great idea, so I am ecstatic. I'll be gathering up all of my supplies and getting that ready for Saturday. And then on Sunday starts Oh My Gourd, and I am participating in that. So I'll be looking forward to a week of working on Autumn Peg. So now I am going to, also on October the 10th is the birthday of Nuri, who is Shaded Stitchery. And please go over. She is having a 24% off sale for her birthday. So she is in Gumroads, and I will be starting Tree Medley. And I have decided that I am going to do the trees individually. So I'm going to start with the Christmas tree and go from there. So I'll be having a new start next week. It'll be on Thursday, October the 10th. That is part of my plans also. So now let's go into investments and Stitchy Kindness. I did receive my week's Dye Works floss, and it is the Eyes, Island Breeze, Ivy, Jaybird, Juniper, Kentucky Bluegrass, King Mackerel. And yesterday I received my Christmas edition of Just Cross Stitch magazine. If you love flip throughs, I would suggest that you head over to Carolyn Zook Stitch when she does her flip through. I don't do flip throughs on this magazine, but she does fabulous flip throughs on several magazines, and so I would suggest that you go and look when she gets her magazine up, her flip through up. It is great. It has got a couple of things in it that I am thinking about stitching. I'm not very sure, but I also received in the mail from two wonderful friends, and I'm not going to give their names, but they one sent me this beautiful project bag. She said when she saw it, she immediately thought of me, and so thank you so very much. I so appreciate it, and I am going to be looking for the perfect project to put in this bag. I think I have a project that I'm going to put in this bag that I'm already working on. So thank you so very much. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate you and our friendship. And then I had another friend. You know, it's great when people know you. So a lot of people know that I am collecting Rosewood Manor charts. And so they find them on freebie tables and ask me, do I have them in my collection? And then if I don't, they send them to me. And so these two I was sent this week, Abe and Mary Lincoln's quilt sampler, and then this one is American flag quilt sampler, and these are really nice. I've actually had a couple of people reach out to me about stitching this, so we'll have to see how the year shapes up next year. And then I also received a plethora of stickers, and a lot of them are mental health theme based. If you have been around for a while, or if you are new, I host a mental health May stitch along in May for Mental Health Awareness Month. And so thank you so very much for your kind gift. I really do appreciate it also. Okay, so when I was at, when we were on our French trip, we all exchanged, we all brought in 13 items, and then we exchanged them. And so this week I have been opening up items, and so I would like to share. I received some pony black needles, 26, and she put it in a really cute. This is by Miss Connie. Count twice, stitch once. Pony black needles. And that was for day number 1. Day number 2 was Fancy Floss, and this was from Athena, and these are color and cotton, and so the first one is Toil and Trouble, Goblin, Gregor, Gargoyle, the Gargoyle, Goosebumps, and Ghoul. And so thank you so very much, Athena. These are really nice. I love color and cotton, so these will come in handy. On day number 3, it was a fabric, and this is a 38 count silk weaver dirty carrot, and this was by Beth, Busy Bee, Silly Me, Silly Me, Busy Bee, Busy Bee, Silly Me. So that is beautiful. I'm thankful now I can start putting stuff away. I've been holding on to it all week. Like, okay. On day number 4, it was for a Halloween pattern, and so I was gifted this. And now I can't remember who had the black crayon. if you've been around a while, you know that I do not stitch Halloween, and so I am going to be putting this in today's giveaway, but I am appreciative of it. Okay, day number 5 was for a autumn chart, and I received, and I think this is from Beth also, Be Ye Thankful with Thy Needle and Thread. So that's super cute. And today is day number 6, and today was scissors, and so whoever was pink. Oh, there's a name in here. Oh, Stacy. So these are embroidery scissors with a little sheath on them, which are always good for when you're traveling. So thank you so very much, Stacy. I appreciate it. And those were my investments in my Stitchy Kindness. And so now I am going to share with you the winners of last week's video. And then we will have another giveaway for this week. So, number 1, the winner for the Data Portraits in Paris 1900 is Debbie Sykes. And Debbie, I do have your address, and so I will be getting this into the mail to you this week. Thank you so very much. And I'm going to be showing the pictures of the drawing also. Number 2 was Becky Danco 602. Number 3 was Book Fiend Crafter. And number 4 is Janet Cross Stitch. And so I have added the pictures of the winners. If you would please send me your mailing address to the email that is in the description box below. I always have my information in the description box. I would appreciate it. The sooner you get your address to me, the sooner I can get these mailed out. I thank you so very much for participating and commenting on my video. So I have 4 more for this week. They are number 1. These also come with the fabric from like last week. It's a 14 count vintage Stormy Night, and it is for number 1 is Horrific Halloween. I can't read these upside down. Eye of Newt. Oh, this one says ingredients. This one says Eye of Newt. This one is Witch's Spell. This one is Toad's Breath. Spider Webs and Bat Wings. And Moon and Stars. So you get all 6 of these charts and fabric. And if you would like that, put number 1 in your comment. Number 2 is you also get a fat quarter of vintage Stormy Night 14 count Ada, and it is, oh, I didn't show you what so if you stitch them all together on one chart, this is what number 1 would look like. 2, I don't see, it just says Halloween. And then Scary Nights, Scary Sights, Jeepers Creepers, and Witches Take Flight. And here is what that would look like if you stitch them all together. So if you would like this set, please put on in your comment number 2. Number 3 does not come with fabric, and I think it's because it's a green fabric that it was stitched on. So you have Scary Night, Spooky, Ghost and Goblins, Haunted House, Trick or Treat, and Witches Meet at 12 o'clock. And here is what that would look like if you stitch them all together. And then for the one that I just received, oh, if you would like this set, please use the number 3 in your comment. And for the Silver Creek samplers that I just received that says Happy Halloween, please use number 4 on your comment. Okay, I think that is all I have to share today. I hope everyone is doing well. I am doing exceedingly well. I hope that you are all doing very well. I hope you're enjoying the cooler weather and not having too much hardship. I'm still keeping the people in the southern states in my thoughts and prayers as the cleanup continues from Hurricane Helene, and there is another hurricane that is coming. So I am really keeping you all in my thoughts and prayers. I hope you all can take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you again next week. Bye, everyone.